Okay, so first we're gonna build the cord. My Taranis is already hacked with the 3-cell battery and got rid of the nickel battery that was in there, that piece of crap. So this is the charger that comes with your Taranis. So you won't be needing this anymore once you do the lithium 3-cell hack. So this is what I'm going to use to build my cord for plugging in the goggles. I already tore the Fatshark battery apart because it died. The little board is cool, but we won't need it for this build, but you can save it for something else later if you want. I didn't even bother to desolder them. One of the cells died in the Fatshark stock battery, so I just cut them off. And then you have the leads that we're going to use. This is actually going to plug into the Taranis, and these leads are going to plug into the goggles. And because I have the 3-cell in my Taranis, I won't need the balance plug on here anymore. This is only going to power the fan. So I'm going to pop that out of there. Maybe I can use this little screwdriver because I don't really need it. All you have to do is press down on the little metal tab and pull it right out. Huh. It actually ripped right out of the thing. These aren't very secure. I'm going to have to do something with that. Yeah, anyway. $500 goggles, and they don't, or $4 and change. They don't do a very good job with this. So anyway, take the original Taranis charger, cut it off. I mean, you can keep this if you want, if you need it. I don't know what you'd use it for, but if you want to use it for something later, you can always pop this open and reattach the cord if you want, or you could pop this open and detach the cord from the inside, but I don't really think I'll have any use for this anymore. I don't have anything that charger needs a nickel NiCad charger. So now we have the lead we're going to use. We're going to separate the wires. And the center is positive. The center on all these will be your positive. And you can double check with a tester. Just put it on resistance. And this is going to be my center. I already know. Strip this wire a little bit. Oh, wrong one. So there's the center pin. The other way you can tell by the all these cords, if you can see on there, has little dashes on the side that is the center, which is your positive. But you can double check with the voltmeter just to be sure you're using the right one. So this positive will go to this positive, will go to this positive. I don't know if my hands are in the way of that shot, but and that way we power our goggles and our fan from this one cord. Also have the original lead that came off the Taranis stock battery pack, the NiCad pack that you could use for this, but these wires are really stiff and crap. The Fatshark ones have the nice silicone on the outsides. They're nice and bendy and easy, but you could use this. I guess once it's plugged in, it's not going to matter. It's going to stay there, so the stiff wires might actually even work a little better. But either one will work, whatever you prefer. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now I have my two little Fatshark leads made here that I took out of the battery because my battery failed. Now you can buy these little leads somewhere and leave your battery intact if you want to use it for tuning or home or whatever, but mine had failed, so I just took the leads out of there. And I have another little battery that I made in case I just need to plug in the goggles real quick to check my cameras and stuff at home without plugging it into the Taranis. And what I'm actually going to do is take my BEC and take this wire off and solder this directly to the BEC, because I want this to sit where the old Fatshark battery sat, nice and neat inside of here, so that it's tucked in and out of the way and it can breathe with the little heat thing on there. And I don't have the battery on my head bugging my ears or anything anymore. So let me get that all done and then I'll show you how that comes out. Okay, so there we have it, my little BEC in line there. Direct solder to the leads. This is the old lead from the original charger, and let's plug it in and test it all and make sure it works. Okay, so here's the back side of my Taranis. I suggest you slide the ribbon cables out. It's very easy to do. You just slide these clips back and they slide right out so that you don't accidentally burn them with the soldering iron or mess them up while you're doing this. And then here's where the original charger plugged in. So you just slide this out of there. And I've already done, I already have a 3-cell, I think it's a 2000 or 2200 in here. Very easy to do. Just find one that you're gonna probably have to cram it in there a little bit, but find one that fits in there, and just take the original battery leads where they plugged in here, and I just soldered the battery on, you know, the connection from the lithium battery right to the positive and negative that were already here. And I added a little plug in here so that when I charge this through the balance lead, I can unplug the power to the radio just to be sure it's not getting any voltage spikes or anything crazy going on, so I can separate this cell and then plug this in and charge it. So now we have this, and the red is the positive lead, and this just slides out of here and then you unplug it from here. This was the original charger, and what I'm going to do is hack this plug off because obviously we won't be needing this anymore. I don't see any need to have this 2-cell plug for anything, so I'm just gonna, and then when I put this back in, right, I can plug the cord we made into here and power my Fatsharks from my radio, so I won't have the battery hanging on the side of my head anymore. And I have the big 3-cell in here. I can tell you after the other cool thing is even though the little battery meter on the Fatshark, wherever it went, battery meter thing on the Fatshark is cool, right? Once I set the radio up and you can program it for the voltage of this battery, I can now monitor the exact voltage on the screen on the Taranis. So I know I have, instead of guessing with the little lights that I'm close or whatever, I know the exact voltage of how much power I have left from my radio and my goggles. So first of all, so all I did here was take the original battery charger, unplug it, cut the wires, and I extended them a little, and then attach them to the positive and negative from my 3-cell powering the Taranis. So now I have 12 volts coming out of this port, raw 12 volts, and then of course added a little hot glue to make sure nothing moves, and we'll go from there. Put the Taranis back together, and then I'll show you the rest of the core. Okay, so I just want to confirm everything here. It's my Taranis all back together. Power it up. Plug in our new homemade lead here.
Relax and enjoy your flight. Throttle warning. Switch warning. Flight mode normal.
You can see we got our little red light there, which means it's got power. Let's test it and see what's coming out of there. Positive inside, negative outside. 7.5. So let's go ahead and plug in the Fatsharks and hope nothing goes on fire. Screens are going. Fans jamming. And now I can meter my voltage with the Taranis for the whole setup. So here's a little follow-up to that Taranis video after flying and testing and so forth. It works fantastic. I have that little U-back inside of there. I had this little piece of Velcro laying around, and I just used that to hold it in there. Never had an issue with it coming out or any problems. And then I put another little soft Velcro loop on the back here so that the cord stays off the back of my head. Nice and comfortable, doesn't bother my ears, no heavy battery, nothing. Of course, like I showed you, it plugs right into the Taranis, and I can monitor my battery on there. And I can comfortably run 30 packs through here when the Taranis is charged. I think I ran 30 packs and the 3-cell was down to like 11.8, 11.9, something like that. But I didn't want to stress it much more than that. Just because I want this battery to last. I didn't want it to puff inside the Taranis or anything stupid like that. So I have sensing, because sometimes when we're practicing at the track, you know, we'll be there all day recharging batteries and maybe run 60 packs through. So I since then had another 3-cell laying around from when I was first learning how to fly, and I added another little plug on here, which is really easy to do, just positive and negative. Cut one side of the battery open just carefully so that you don't cross over leads and short the battery out. Solder that on there. And now what I'm going to do, I decided, I mean, I've never had an issue with this, running this all day long. The Fatsharks have a protector in them, so a low voltage thing, so they'll start beeping when they get to low voltage, and I've never ever even come close to that. But just for craps and giggles, I'm going to stick the little Fatshark meter on here. Why not? That way I can like test it when I get home or whatever, see if I want to charge it. But I put this in my pocket if I'm going for like an all-day long fly. But if I'm just going to the park or across, down the street to bash around, 5, 8 packs or whatever, even 10 packs, this is perfect. I don't have to carry anything else with me. Just my goggles, my Taranis, and my quad, a few batteries and tools, and I'm off. And of course, props. So, the little leads that are on here aren't quite long enough to do what I want to do. So, let's see here. This tape will work fine. I like that they make electrical tape in a million different colors. I'm going to stick this... Oh, that was brilliant. I'm going to stick this on here. Hold her still while I'm soldering or desoldering the wires. Make life a little easier. A couple little any wires laying around, and I'm just going to pop these off real quick. I think I am. There we go. That's that. Those are garbage. Tin these guys up real quick. And put a nice little bead of solder on there. Piece of cake. Done. And done. Easy as can be. So now, take this little guy. I guess I'll run these in between here for a little, so I get points for neatness. Stick a little piece of tape. Use the same tape, I guess, and stick it right around here to hold it into place for now. Because this yellow tape, those lights will show through this yellow tape, no problem. And I'll tape this back up when I'm done. So we got our negative right here. Hold the junk out of the way. It's not going to take much, right? It's just a tiny little wire. And there's not going to be any stress on it. It's going to be taped down. There's that. To the positive side, just hook them right to where this balance lead is running. This one right here. Add a little fresh solder on there. Make sure everybody's happy. There we go. That looks good. And boom. Now we have lights. Why not, huh? Said I've never had an issue, but why not? So now, what I like to do when I do these little battery deals is take another little piece of double-sided tape to kind of hold everything and protect it. And I close it back up. Offer a little stress relief in there. Right, so we'll stick that, smush it right on top of everything. Since we went with yellow, I actually happen to have some nice wide yellow here. Vinyl tape, same crap. Neaten this up a fuzz. Pull that down tight on there. Ooh, that wrinkle's no good for my OCD. Gotta be flat and smooth, right? Do a good job. Oh. Okay. Run it down there a fuzz more. That's the end of that. Fold these over. Nice and neat. And I'll take some of the skinny stuff and wrap it around the top here to make sure we got some good stress relief on all the leads. And everything's nice and tight and packaged in there. And I think I'm not even gonna I mean, the lights will show through this yellow tape, no problem. But I don't think I need to tape the whole thing. I'm just going to tape it the ends. To hold it on there. It's already tucked inside this tape. Fairly secure. It ain't going nowhere. So there we go. That's the little meter off the original Fatshark battery. On a 3-cell, I believe this is a 1850 Infinity, which have proven to be very solid little batteries. And then I have the 3-cell in my Taranis. And I made the leads from the original Fatshark battery on the end of this cord with the UBEC, and then the original cord from the NiCad charger that came with the Taranis. So you already have all these parts to build all this. I already had all these parts to build all this stuff. I just had to change them around in a different configuration. Well, everything except this UBEC. This is a 12, or it's a switchable UBEC. So I think I've plugged a 4-cell, 3-cell into it, no problem, with a 7.4 output, actually 7.5 on the meter. And I've been running it for several months now without issue. Fantastic. just a quick final thought here. As I was looking at this Fatshark board, the little computer chip is down here on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and cover that up just to make sure it doesn't get bumped or wet or ripped off in my pocket or sweated on or spit on or a bird poop on it or whatever. So there's actually the end result. And that way this is for sure held in there nice and tight. Doot 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 doot.